Welcome to another Numbering the Days channel word study. This study is on the word Sefer. While you may not have heard this word or know how to spell it using the ancient Yahudyath letters or Paleo Hebrew, you have had it translated for you for sure. Numbers, numbering, counting, book, scribe, and more. A member of our community fellowship we are building from our channel wanted to know more about this word, so this one is for her and for you. In English, if I say I counted something, we consider counting associated with like 1, 2, 3, 4, basically a quantity of a thing being counted. If I say numbering, I could be talking about your social security number, which is a numbering of sorts, but you'd never associate that with the word book for the book on your bookshelf in a library, and you'd certainly not connect that same counting word to the word scribe or the author of who wrote the book sitting on the library bookshelf. But in the Yahudyath Paleo Hebrew language, before all the modern vowel pointing, it was all the same word. So let's get started on this most interesting study today. Okay, my name is Sierra, and we're going to do a word study on the word Sefer. It's spelled Samic Peresh here in Yahudyath, and we call it Sefer. That's how you would spell it in English to know how to pronounce it. In Strong's, it has many Strong's numbers, which they've all given you multiple definitions that seem pretty unrelated, and they do that through all the vowel pointing. But we know that in the ancient Paleo Hebrew or Yahudyath language, there was no vowel pointing. So this word had a multi-dimensional nature to it. It was trying to give you a word picture of what was happening. So when I kind of consolidated all the meanings I could find, we have to count or number something. We have to write something down to speak the words that are in books or rolls. So writing down and the things that are spoken into a sefer or a scroll, because the scrolls are called sefers, that's also this word. It also means to rehearse, recount a story, to narrate, to count. So if you're a storyteller sitting by the fire with your kids and you're rehearsing a story and you're telling them a story, that's a sefer. You're a sefering. To narrate something is to sefer. To count something is to sefer. So that's why this word includes the meaning in modern day understanding of secretary. They're a sefer, they're a scribe. They're doing the functioning of a scribe. I know my mother used to be able to type 120 words a minute and worked as a secretary at one point in her life. I mean, she could sit there and type, glance at a piece of paper held upright in front of her every 10, 15 seconds and carry on a conversation with someone at the same time. It's amazing what modern day scribes can do. It also means to be the enumerator or the counter of something. We have also in here is the meaning of to cut up with a long blade of a knife, to cut something up. So to chop up words or chop up numbers or cut something is a sefer. Okay, when I look at the component words that we can pull from those three letters, we have two options. We have Safa or Sef. I don't know how, remember, I'm not the expert at pronouncing things. Here's our Strong's number. It's also in Klein's dictionary, and it means a threshold, basin, goblet, wine vessel in Aramaic, and to mean to spread out something, and a doorkeeper. In verses, I have seen these two letters used to mean to assemble something. Well, I know if you're putting words down in a sefer, you're assembling something. If I'm counting a bunch of stuff, I might be assembling things to count. I don't know. It was used to mean assemble. You can go look these up for yourself. The last two letters, Peresh, is in Strong's. It means a young bullock, a bull, a steer, or an oxen. That's how it's been translated. So I was like, wow, how do we go from these definitions into something that means this? Because usually in the Yahudyath language, the words build and you can see all their relationships really well. So if you were just to look at these components and what we're given as the meaning, man, you'd say, what, a basin for a bull, steer, or oxen? I mean, it's hard to come up with something here based off these components. But when I looked at the meaning of the letters themselves, and this is part of the stuff that I teach in our Yahudyath classes that you can email us if you are interested. I get a structure or support for speaking words out of your mouth of an exalted prophet, an elder type person. So certainly books have what was said from someone of importance and they're written down. Even the kings are an important person and you write down all the words that they're speaking. They write letters to each other. You've got a scribe usually doing this. Things are written down. We have Kings and Chronicles written by many scribes recounting stories of the kings. So when I looked at the letters themselves, then the word makes sense. When I looked at what these definitions are for these two-letter root words, which in Yahudyath, 2 letters is a word. This is what they tell you it means, and it didn't make any sense. So the Yahudyath made sense to me. Now we're going to look at something else because I took this a little bit further. If you add a yod to the end of Sefer, so you get Safari. Remember, I'm not really good at how to pronounce things. I found this word in Esther 3:12, and it's the plural form, and in that verse it's translated scribes. And in Klein's dictionary, this word with a yod added on the end is the word for books, which also fits the meaning that we're seeing, and scribes would work. So put the yod on the end, you get plural, books or scribes. Now, I usually don't do this in every word study, but I did it for this one because of the lady in our community and the exact question that she has about this word. So if I looked at the numbers of times that the different definitions, these are related, like book, roll, letter, evidence, bill, register, scroll, all of those to me kind of mean the same sort of thing. It's used in 188 verses that way. If we're talking about someone who's telling, declaring, speaking, talking, reckoning something, telling the story, it's used that way 74 times. It's been translated like this. If we talk about the scribe or the writer, 60 times it's been translated that way. Only 11% of the time has it been translated number count, accounted, or numbering. And I really don't know what to do with penknife and commune. I didn't go study these verses to see where they got this meaning from, but that's 2 times. So the word is in Scripture 356 times, and this is the ways that it's been used. So having Sefer mean to number and count something is only like 10-11% of the time. So it's not that common. It's much more common for the word Sefer to be related to the books, the scrolls, the stories in them, and the writers and the scribes that write them. Okay. Okay, so we're going to look at another form of Sefer when you add a mem in the front of it. Okay? And I pulled some verses where I saw mem samik peresh, and they all were pretty consistent, which is interesting. Leviticus 25:15, according to the number of years after the Jubilee, thou shalt buy of thy neighbor. Okay, the number of years. Now we're talking about counting. 1 year, 2 year, 50 years, 60 years, and it's mem samik peresh. Leviticus 25:50. And ye shall reckon with him that bought with him the year, blah, blah, blah. And the price of his sale shall be according unto the number of years. Again, 1 year, 2 years, 7 years. It's the number. It's not words. It's not a book. It's not a scribe. It's number. Okay. The number of something. Numbers 1:2. Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children by their fathers, and the number of their names, every male by their polls. Okay, now we're talking about the number of people, the number of their names. We're not talking about, again, we're not talking about words in a book, although they may have written this down, but we're talking about the number of people, the number of names. Numbers 14:34. After the number of the days in which ye searched the land. Okay, how many days were you there? It's not a scribe, it's not an author, it's not a book sitting in a library. Ezra 1:9. And this is the number of them, 30 chargers of gold and 1,000. See, he's numbering things, counting things. So this could have said, according to the count of the years, according unto the counting of the years. I mean, you could put counting in here or number, but all these are consistently saying similar things in context, and it's memsamic peresh to mean numbering. Okay, then if you go look in your lexicon, here's a couple more examples. Okay, I want to finish this. Nehemiah 7:7. Talking about a bunch of names. The number, I say, of the men of the people. See, it's talking about numbering, counting. And I found it in Job 1:5. And offered burnt offerings according to the number of them. For Job said it may be, he's counting his sons. Okay, there's all my examples. And clearly these are numbers and numbering things, like I said. Okay, now, there are many words in Yahudyath that the translators turn into English and all use number. I mean, you'd be astounded if you go to your lexicon or whatever tools you use, and you go look at how many words have all been translated as number in English. I just put a few of them here, okay? These are verses that are not using the Sefer word at all. They're using multiple other words, all translated as number. 1 Chronicles 21, and Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. Okay, that's not Sefer. It's another word. And all of these verses are using different words, by the way. Genesis 13:16. To Abraham, and I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of earth, then thy seeds shall also be numbered. It's not the same thing up here as number Israel, it's another word. It's not Sefer. Exodus 12:5. And if the household be too little for the lamb, according to the number of souls, not Sefer. This is not Sefer word, and it's not memsamic peresh. None of these are that memsamic peresh either. Leviticus 26:22. I will also send wild beasts among you, to rob you of your children, to destroy your cattle, and make you few in number. Not the same as these. See, this is what you don't see. You don't see all the variations and the full meaning of what's being communicated because we're in English. Numbers 4:29, and as the sons of Merari, thou shalt number them after their families. Again, not this word up here. It's not memsamic peresh. It's not samic peresh. These are all different words. Okay. So a member of our study community, asked me to look into this word for her, and I already had. But I put this word study together into this video as a teaching tool to help show you once again that there is more meaning under the hood than the English shows. And now here is the teaser for you. Leviticus 23:15. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath. From that day ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering. 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. That's the word Sefer. That's not the word memsamic peresh. It's not any of those other words. Let's look at Leviticus 23:16. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days. That's not memsamic peresh. It's samic peresh. And ye shall offer a new meat offering. Go look these verses up and check out what the Hebrew is there. Look at the words used for counting and numbering and then compare them to what I showed you in this video and ponder it. If you want to learn more, you'll need to email me. We are building a community of people who want to dig deep and learn in-depth word studies, the language, and how to understand these verses. No prior classes are required, just a heart for Yah. You have to be humble and want to make a commitment to learn. I hope this word study has edified you, piqued your curiosity, and makes you think harder about what you're reading. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sabbath. Shalom.